And welcome back to Color Break, your third favorite comic book podcast. I'm your host, Cody, and thank you, listeners, for, I guess, viewers too, for joining us on this special Christmas episode. I'm here with my co host, as always, we got Christian.
Yeah, comic book stash. How's it going, guys?
How's it
We're
going, dude?
doing something different today. We're gonna start off this podcast by something that we've never done before, mainly because it's a Christmas thing and it's only been Christmas once on the podcast. So we have sent each other books, and neither of us knows what the other one got. So I think that's really cool. Uh, we're gonna unbox them right here, and we're actually gonna do a review of the books at some point in January in a YouTube exclusive episode. We're not putting it behind a paywall. We're putting it on video. We could be making money out of this, but like it's too much to think about. Also, me
It's
and
true.
Cody are kind of matching. I have a Cyclops right here that he actually sent me for Christmas, and he has Jean Grey.
Nice. Alex Ross covers. Love
Yeah.
them.
What other podcast do you know that does something like this? Have comic
That's
books
true,
behind
dude.
them.
Oh my God. Who else is doing exchanges and opening them live? Oh yeah, so you explained, right? So it's gonna be a YouTube exclusive. Dude, I say we just jump into it, right? Should I
Yeah,
go first?
you go first. I sent you two books because I'm extra.
All right, I'm gonna mute it so because I'm gonna rip into this thing.
Yeah, you gotta unmute it whenever you have the actual. Okay, so he's opening it. Let's go, guys. Let's see what it is. I already know what it is. Oh, there it is.
Okay, something I've never heard of, but I immediately love the cover art.
Right.
Okay, we have Ghost World, now a major motion picture, written, maybe drawn too, by Daniel Close.
Look at the inside, buddy.
Oh, dude, this is right up my alley.
It's all one
Immediately.
color.
Okay, yep, it's monotone in color.
And if you guys are wondering what it is, it's all
Have you?
mint.
Mmm, that's the best color too.
So yeah, it's actually the movie. It's my girlfriend's favorite movie, Ghost World. And
Oh, right.
yeah, it's I have the book right here. I haven't finished reading it, but it's incredible, and I thought you would like it. And if you guys are wondering, the movie has Scarlett Johansson. What's her name? The girl from. You know what? I forgot the movie with the three witches. You know it.
Oh, Hocus Pocus.
Yes, the little girl from
Nice.
Hocus Pocus, and it has, um, I'm not even gonna try. I forget all the actors.
Fantagraphics Books, by the way, is the publisher. They do great stuff. Great little indie outfit going on. Dude,
Oh
this
yeah,
looks great.
it's a beautiful book. I'm excited for you to have it. And I sent you something
I
else.
I remember that. Didn't you? Here, while you get your gift ready, I'll talk. Didn't you buy this like one of your hauls you did where you went to like Barnes and Nobles? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Steve Buscemi's the other actor in the movie. There we
Oh,
go. I
nice,
knew
dude. I
it.
love Steve. I love Buscemi, dude.
Okay, so I have my gift here. Do you want me to open it, or do you want to open your other book?
Um, you can open yours. You can open yours.
Okay, I'll do it without looking. Oh, this. I'm gonna mute myself. It's very loud. You keep talking. Entertain him, Cody.
Oh yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting we're audio as well. Um, well, yeah, I don't know. While he's going, we can do a little bit of housekeeping. So, if you guys want to listen to the latest episode of Crossover Comics, they just came back and released a new episode. I think they'll be doing another one next week, and they're just gonna keep rolling from there. So, definitely check out our sister podcast, Crossover Comics. All right, Christian, what do you got, buddy? Here we go.
Let me unmute myself. I haven't seen it. Oh wow!
Oh, there we
Okay,
go,
so
dude.
I've heard a. I remember when these were. This is recent, right? This just came out. It's King of Spies by Mark Miller. This is fairly
Earlier this
recent, right?
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember looking at it and thinking this was the coolest cover I had ever seen. But
Right.
like, I saw that and I was like, oh, there's like 4 issues out. I'm not even gonna bother. It looks great, but like, I don't have the money. Now I have it, and
Dude,
this
so
looks
okay,
great.
so my reasoning when I saw that at my shop was one, I know you're into James Bond, right?
Yes.
So this is pretty much a James Bond story. And it's a short little mini series and it's like really action packed, so I figured it could be a good you know, a good review discussion
Oh no,
because
no,
yeah.
I love it. I mean, here's my thing with James Bond. I love James Bond. Have not watched the Daniel Craig movies. Everyone's gonna hate me for it.
I mean, it follows like the same formula as regular James Bond, but the kind of twist is this guy he's been burnt by the so he's like about to die. He's really old, he has cancer, whatever. So his like last thing, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna make the world a way better place than when I left it. Because he was a spy, so he'd be sent by the British intelligence agency to go out and like assassinate people. So he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna kill like all the rich people that are making the world terrible, like all that stuff. So I don't
I
know.
already
It's a
love
really
this.
great read.
It says Netflix down here.
That's what I was confused about. I think Mark Mr. Mark has like a deal with Netflix and they're working on making it a movie or something like that.
Listen, that's exciting. We both got books that either are or will eventually be turned into a movie.
You know what that means though? That means that it's really good and it's good enough to be adapted into other media.
Yeah, and now
But
you
yeah,
now
dude.
you have your other book.
Yeah, dude, let's go for it. I'm gonna mute. Keep on talking, buddy.
So this is the most awkward thing we've done so far. Him muting himself, trying to distract everyone. Oh, he's going at it. No, this is a good book. I know he's listening to me, but I'm excited. It just has some cigarettes in the cover, scotch. Yeah, this book I find interesting because I really like it. It's a slow book, but I'm excited to see what he thinks. Go, Cody.
All right, haven't seen it. It's upside down. Lazarus, Rucka, Lark, and Arcus. I know Greg Rucka. He's had a couple good runs on Wonder Woman, so that's a name I'm familiar with. Lazarus, published by Image.
Lazarus,
Okay, okay,
imagine this like it's sort of like Game of Thrones where there's like a bunch of different houses,
okay.
but also it's in like just the United States and Mexico, and it's just like it's like a I want to say it's like a dystopian future.
Right,
It's like
dude. That's like
military.
all I read. That's like it must be like 80% of the books I read is apocalyptic future.
It's a really slow book, but I think it's
Okay,
worth it. And it's a short book. I mean, it's a series. It's still they just brought it back actually.
okay.
And that was recommended to me by Brian, the guy that works in the comic book store I shop at.
Oh, dude, shout out Brian. If Brian's listening, dude, shout out. I mean, this is right up my alley. You said all the buzzwords. You said post-apocalyptic future. You said slow burn. I kind of love slow burns. Although, like the beginning's got a ton of action, really gory a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't show that. It's some girl taking a bath. I won't show that. Nah, dude, this
See.
is great. Look at this, huh? Little gift exchange.
Yeah. I thought it'd be a
What if I
cool thing.
hold it
So
up
guys, yeah,
for the
guys, you can
thumbnail?
for the thumbnail. Oh no, yeah, we gotta blur them out so people want to come
Oh,
in.
true. Good point. Good point.
Um, so you guys keep. Oh wow, Cody, you hit your mic. Come
I
on,
know
man.
that's not
Be
good. Not
respectful.
good. That's not professional.
So you guys can expect us to be reading these soon. We have actually a lot of cool projects planned for the beginning of the year, if I do say so myself. This will be instead of a podcast, it's gonna be more like a review, but we'll both be on it. It'll be a YouTube exclusive, free for all to watch. And be on the lookout for that. We'll announce it as the closer we get to the episode being released. And now, Cody, you want to introduce the next segment of this podcast?
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening to this beginning bit. But in the next bits, we're gonna be talking about our favorite Christmas movies with our good friend Vinny. So yeah, keep listening to that. And then at the very end, we talk about a new favorite series of ours. It turns out we're gonna be talking about Klaus. So yeah,
Yeah, and
listen
yeah,
on.
let's just jump into it. That was really awkward. Just kidding.
And we're here with our special guest. We have Vinny in the house. First appearance of Vinny. How you doing, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Celebrating that Christmas. We all got the sweaters.
Yeah, you guys look very festive.
Yep, yep. The hat's hot. I might have to take it off in like literally like immediately after we talk about Christmas movies or something. But anyway, yeah. So Vinny, every time we got a guest, I'm sure you know the rigmarole, right?
hmm
Lay it on us, dude. How'd you get into comics?
Oh man. So I've always loved superheroes. But I think I really got into comics because when I was younger, uh, during like summers off from school, my mom would always bring me to my grandma's house, and she always had the VHS of Batman 1989 with Jack Nicholson, and I'd watch it just on repeat every day, just over and over again. My poor grandmother, and I don't know. I just developed this love for Batman, and then some other family members brought over comics, and I do my best to try to read at such a young age. I was just looking at the pictures, and you know, I just fell in love like from a young age.
Nice, dude. So like I find it so interesting, right? It's like it's such a kid thing. I don't know why, but there's like just 3 movies just on repeat all the time, right?
Yeah.
What age, like about what age was like did you get introduced to Batman and comic books in general?
Um, Probably about like 5 or 6 to
Wow.
the Batman
Oh,
movie.
yeah, nice.
Um, and then all the cartoons around the same time. But I didn't start reading comics until I don't know, until I was about 10 or 12, and I didn't start collecting them until like until high school. So probably about 15 or 16.
Yeah, and you're younger than us. I don't know by how much. Me and
Yeah,
Cody are.
I'm
We're lucky that
You
we're the same age exactly. I think I'm older by like a couple months, so I don't have to worry about knowing anything about him. But
right,
our
right.
guess.
Yeah. So I the other thing too, right? So it sounds like you attached with Batman at first. Did you start reading Batman comic, or like did you stay at kind of like the DC realm, or did you kind of just do back and
yeah.
forth? Yeah.
A lot of Batman and Superman and Spider Man and Wolverine, X Men. I love the X Men, but definitely Batman was like my gateway into comics.
Right. No, that's cool. That's cool to be introduced. It sounds like to from family members and stuff because it's kind of if you don't know someone that's in it, like how do you get into comics really, right? Like we talk about it all the time. It's kind of tough. So it's nice
Yeah.
having family members that can
Yeah.
show you some stuff.
And I have a
Um,
question. Did you relate to Batman, or is it just like, oh, he's cool?
No, he just looked cool. He
Yeah,
just
because I
looked
was
cool,
gonna
and they
say,
always.
if you're 5 and you relate to Batman, you're like,
Yeah, no, I was a little luckier than him, but I don't know. He just looked cool. They always had good art in the Batman books. Um, I remember like the first Batman comic I picked up was like in the middle of the Nightfall storyline. So like I didn't know what was going on at all. I just
right.
knew it looked cool.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So I don't know. Do you got any more questions about his origin story, Christian?
I do. Give me 1 second. I wanted to ask you, is there a character? Because me and Cody had this thing where we like, we really love comic books, but read like 5 of them a year. You know,
Yeah.
is there a character that like you've always really loved, but can have not gotten into, and you want to, but are kind of afraid?
Oh, a character that I love that I haven't gotten into.
Like
Um,
maybe you love him from like other media or something. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
for example, right? The Flash show. You got
yeah,
you know what I mean. But I haven't really dove into the Flash comics. I did just get the uh the Wade run, right? So
hmm
that'll be cool to read. Oh wait, not the Raid. What am I thinking of?
This is going great, guys.
No, we'll cut this part out. That's fine.
No, we'll keep it in, Cody. We do not cut mistakes out. People need to know where we mess up.
You know what it is, dude? It's because I haven't unwrapped it yet. It's underneath my tree, so I don't know exactly what it is. But I was waiting for it for quite a while because I've heard it's like one of the better Flash runs. So you know, I'll dive into that at some point. But yeah, that's always been mine is like maybe Green Lantern and Flash are just characters that from like the Just League TV show, the animated show, and stuff like that.
yeah.
Never read any of the comics. I just feel like they're too kind of just tough to get into. Green Lantern, especially. That's how I
Mhm.
feel. But
Um, I'd probably say maybe the Hulk.
mm,
Like I really like the Hulk, and I've read a couple Hulk books, but nothing like. I bought the first volume of the Peter David run because everyone loves that run, and I started reading it. But besides that, I've only read like Immortal Hulk and Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, but not a lot. I do love them though, but I
You
don't
know
know.
about the
Never
Hulk,
jumped
when
into
I
them.
like growing up, not only growing up but even as an adult, I always thought the Hulk was just like, oh, that guy's just like strong and there's nothing to him. That was just destroying things. And
Yeah,
then the Donny Cates run came out, and I was enjoying that. I thought they did something interesting with the character. And I read Spider-Man Blue, and I was like, oh, well, Hulk Gray is right there. And I read Hulk
yeah.
Gray, and I was like, wow, this man is so sad. He's not as strong as I thought I was.
He's strong physically, but not emotionally. But no, that's so true, right? So I read the Hulk Grand Design. So Grand Design is a series that Marvel does where they try to, you know, I don't know if their goal is like try to catch everybody up, but they pretty much take a character's history and like blend it up and then, um, give it to you in like a short format. So the
Yeah,
Grand Design
I read
Hulk,
the X-Men one.
right? The X
Sorry.
Men one's really good, and then
Mhm.
they did one for the Hulk, and that kind of did the opposite of what you guys are suggesting. Like I read the Grand Design Hulk, and it made me even more scared to read the Hulk because I mean like all this stuff is happening to this guy, and like every time, like every panel was something terrible that happens to the Hulk. So so I'm just like, you know what, maybe I don't know. And in addition to that, right, the Peter David run, like you were saying, isn't that one at like 5 omnibuses at this point?
Yeah,
That's a long run.
I picked up volume 1 and I was like, it can't be that long. And there's like 20 volumes. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try my
You,
best.
you know what I'll say? And this is not, I know it's not related to the Hulk at all, but I've been buying The Walking Dead Deluxe for almost a year now. Like every month I buy them. I'm on issue 52, and I had not read a single one. And in 3 days I'm on issue 24, and I'm like, wow, you could really just go through them. Like if it catches you, it
Yeah.
just immediately. And like I feel bad now because I'm reading only that and not my other books. But like, and we'll talk about this later. We will talk about a book we're gonna review. People saw it in the title. It's not a fucking mystery. Um, I read that today on break at work. Like I can read fast.
Hmm. No, Christian, that's a good point, dude. Like we all, as collectors and comic readers, we just live with this guilt. Like I was, talking to Vinny about it right before we hit record. It's like it's just, oh man, there's so much to read, and you just are paralyzed by guilt. But once you start reading, I mean, everybody breezes through. I mean, they're comic books. They're not like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Someone told
So
me the other day. I was like, they were like, "Hey, what are you gonna do today?" Like a coworker, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna read." And they were like, "Oh, wow!" And I was like, "Yeah, not some comic books." And they were like, "Oh, okay. You're not gonna read. You're gonna look at little pictures. You're a baby boy. Stop."
Um. Oh, so Vinny, I got it. So I know that you have a really impressive collection. You had a series going on your channel on your TikTok page, which is linked in the description. By the way, go check Vinny out, support our boy.
Oh yeah,
But
thank you.
you were going through your whole collection. It's
Yeah.
impressive, dude. I mean, that collection, it's like it's not close to long box, but it's up there. It's really up there in our
Yeah.
little group, Crossover Comics. So what
Thank
is
you.
what's like your maybe omnibus, or if it's like a different collected edition that you are, that's like maybe it's like super out of print, and you're just super glad to have it. Like I always point to Sandman Volume 1 omnibus, even though I haven't completed it. It's just like such a cool, it's way different than all the other omnibuses, and I think it's out of print at this point. Could be wrong about
Hmm.
that. Close to it maybe, but yeah, so I was just wondering what your
Oh
prized
man.
collected edition would be if you had to point to
Uh
something.
Man, out of all the questions I thought you'd ask, that was
I'm
not one
sorry.
of them.
I'm
It's
sorry.
what we it's
um,
what we do here.
yeah, catching me off guard. Uh,
While you're thinking,
oh
I got
man, I
another
I
one,
really
right?
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, no worries. So I have the Marvels, like the first time they collected the Kurt Busiek, Alex Ross, the first time they collected it.
yeah,
I bought that off of I think it was Ghost Dad Comics off on Whatnot. So that's like a cool first printing of the collected edition of the Marvels. So that's
yeah.
something I'm glad I have. I don't know how much it's worth, but pretty cool.
Um, I mean, I don't think it's rare but the DC The New Frontier Absolute Edition,
Mm.
I love New Frontier, and I used to have just the paperback, but when I found the Absolute Edition, which is usually like $125, I found it for like $40 on eBay,
Wow.
and so I don't know, that'd probably be it. I love that story, and the Absolute Edition, just having it in like a huge format, it's great.
You know what I have that's like super super special to me? Remember Smosh?
Oh yeah,
Smosh put out a magazine, 2 issues, and I only have issue number 1, but I keep that thing locked
Oh, you don't
away.
even have the complete run, dude. Come
No,
on.
I don't. Man, listen. Okay, I didn't live in this country. Getting it in South America was not the easiest thing.
Dude, I didn't even know. I mean, I didn't even know Smosh was, I guess they were global, huh? Interesting. We could have a whole
Yeah.
topic on Smosh if you guys want at some point.
But no, that's one of like, it's so stupid because like the magazine is nothing. I mean, and not to like shit on Smush, love them as kids, really respect them.
yeah.
But like, it's just like random jokes. But I keep that thing like in a box. I'm like, there's no one's touching this book.
Nice, dude. Yeah, you got to put that in a safe just in case anyone steals it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it
wants
to
to steal it.
I'm gonna send it to CGC.
That might be the only one. It might be like the rarest thing on
Yeah.
the CGC census, dude. All right, Christian. Do you think that's enough Vinny in the hot seat? Maybe we move on to our next topic?
Hey Vinny, how many dogs have you had in your life?
Oh,
Dogs?
that could be a sad question, dude. Come
Oh
on.
man, I've only had one. I've only
Hey,
had one dog.
Nice.
you see, it wasn't
Yeah.
sad, Cody. Unless
Okay, I
the
can
dog
make
is
it
not
sad.
here.
You want me to make it sad? My family dog that died kind of looked like this.
Oh.
So I found this at Target, and I'm like, dude, I gotta get it. I mean, that's my dog on my Christmas sweater every year. Anyways,
Making everyone cry on Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Speaking of crying on Christmas, let's talk about Christmas movies. What do you guys think?
First of all, I don't know which Christmas movies you watch that make you cry every Christmas.
I know it's
but
kind of like a broken segue that doesn't make sense. But I asked these guys to compile a list of their top 5 favorite Christmas movies. That way we can, ring in the Christmas time together. Vinny, I'll put you in the hot seat again. What's your number 5, dude? Favorite Christmas movie?
My number 5. Oh man. So I have like way more than 5 written, but I'm like,
do some honorable mentions. You got some honorable mentions?
Yeah, okay. Honorable mentions. A Christmas Story.
Ooh.
I love A Christmas Story, but I feel like everybody loves The Christmas Story. So like, I didn't want to put it on my main list because there's a few other movies that I could watch over and over again, besides that one.
So not to cut you off, but if we're talking about A Christmas Story, I gotta be real with you, dude. That's my number 1. That's my number 1. I'm just gonna jump into it because it is pretty played out, and you do end up watching it like, I don't know, 100 times every single Christmas season. But man, my family, they love that one. And like on Christmas Day, they do the 24 hours on TBS. I don't know if you guys
Oh yeah.
Right? So that's just on for, 2 days straight leading up to Christmas. So, that's got to be my number 1. I think my parents would be upset with me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I have watched The Christmas Story probably around 0 times. And that,
dude,
really?
It's so good.
It's
a classic.
I know I have that.
Okay.
I know I have that as an honorable mention, but like I do love that movie.
I got you.
I'm wearing a Christmas sweater right now, but I'm wearing a Christmas Story pajamas underneath. Like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Did you wear that specifically for the record here? Or you just had this on? It's just
I just had them on.
Nice.
It's cold. It's been snowing where I live for like all of today.
Oh yeah, we got some snow last night, but
it was very sunny out here in Florida.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun cleaning off my girlfriend's car at 6 a.m. so she could go to work, Christian.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Vinny, you got some more honorable mentions, dude? Lay it on.
Yeah. I'll go through them quickly. The Polar Express.
Gotcha. Is that on your list, Christian?
No, never watched it. Well, I did, but I didn't finish it. Tom Hanks really freaked me out. He plays every character,
He
okay?
does play
He
every
does
character.
play
It's
every
weird.
character. You know, I watched Polar Express last night with my girlfriend. That's her number
Oh,
one.
wow.
So I end up watching it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's about where I would have it. I would put it in honorable mention.
Yeah.
I think, dude, the animation, does it hold up? I don't know if it does. It
No.
looks rough, right?
No.
But but you got to give it the honorable mention. I feel you.
Yeah. And my last honorable mention is The Night Before with Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie.
Oh,
So I haven't watched it, but I saw the poster today when I looked up movies that take place on Christmas for my list.
yep.
It's funny. I definitely recommend it.
Is that the one where so Seth Rogen, he's Jewish, so he's doing the Hanukkah,
Yes.
and then you got the Anthony Mackie Kwanzaa, right? And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt for Christmas, and like that's the
Yeah.
whole thing is all the holidays. Nice. I haven't
Mhm.
seen it, but
I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
nice. I mean, with a cast like that, it's a great cast.
Yeah. Should I jump into number 5?
Dude, jump onto it, and then we can do a little round table. We'll go to Christian's 5 after. All right.
All right. For my number 5, I'm torn between the Santa Claus, like all 3 of those movies. I think I'm gonna choose the third one.
Is that
But
the one with Jack Frost?
yes,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna choose that one. But I might have to just choose the first one. I
You
love
can-
the Santa Claus movies.
You
I
can
think
say
they're
the
so
Santa
funny.
Claus trilogy, not the newer
Trilogy.
one. Just the
Yeah, you
trilogy.
could-
I haven't even watched that. Yeah.
Oh, I thought wasn't it a show? Is it a show or is it a movie?
It
Doesn't
might be a
matter.
show.
Here's the
Okay,
thing.
but I would let you lump them all in as one. I think that's
Yeah,
fair.
I'll say the trilogy. I think it's so fun. Every Christmas I have to watch them.
Nice.
I mean, that's a good pick. That's my childhood right there. A little bit of my childhood. 'Cause,
I
like,
saw.
if you
I
ask,
saw the. Wait, you just unlocked a memory, Vinny. I saw the Jack Frost one in theaters.
Oh wow.
I feel like I just Winter Soldier. Like you just said a code word. I just like. I just remembered some memories. Yeah. All right. Well.
I know this is not an original thought. I know people have talked about this, but isn't that movie so weird?
Yeah.
Like he killed Santa Claus, and then he just strolls up to the North Pole, and no one's like, "What did you do to him? He was our friend." No, they're just like, "Well, new guy, come in."
Now
It's
you're
just
the new
bizarre.
guy.
Yeah, like
You
if
put
they've
on his
known him,
pants or. You put
they've
on
known
his
him for like
pants or
a
whatever.
century. They've known him for like a century. They've been working with this man all the time, and then he gets murked, and they're like, "Okay, I guess we got a new Santa Claus."
Yeah.
Well, so the other thing too, and I guess maybe I can ask Vinny if he sounds like he's the Santa Claus expert, is does he keep his original identity? Like, is he still whatever the character's name was before he became Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like
do
it's
they
the-
refer
it's-
to him as his
Oh no, like when he's in like Santa mode,
right?
he's just Santa. But he goes back to his normal life.
How does he report it
I-
to the IRS? You know, like
right.
Oh,
Is there
oh,
some
man.
all right. Christian, lay it on us, buddy. You're number 5.
my number 5 is the Grinch, not the Jim Carrey one, the
Okay.
animated one, and not the Benedict Cumberbatch one, but the
Oh.
OG like 2D animation that I think is great. I don't know what it is about it, but like old Dr. Seuss animations are just so like weird, and I love it. It just brings me
Yeah.
back for some reason. I owned the DVD and I liked it because it wasn't one of those like fully plastic boxes. You don't remember those DVD boxes with like a little like cardboard like
Yeah,
flat-
dude, and it had like a little like latch, right? Like you
yeah
latch it and then it flips open.
that I had it like that. I still have it. It's probably somewhere in my room here, but it's just a movie that I always enjoyed. I like the songs. The songs are classics.
Mm-hmm.
Like You're a Mean One comes from that one.
Yeah.
That's true. That soundtrack does go hard. That's very
It
true.
does.
That soundtrack slaps, dude.
So yeah, I mean
Um,
I don't have anything else to say about it.
You know what though, Christian? This is an actual good segue. That leads me into my number 5. If we're talking about soundtracks, A Charlie Brown Christmas. So the
Oh
reason why I
man.
have it so low is because it's just really short. You know what I mean? But like, it's okay that it's that short because it's so good. Um, but no, that's one that my family has to watch every year. And then yeah, the soundtrack. I mean that got so many people into jazz actually. Like I was reading an article, like jazz sales shot up after the release of dang Charlie Brown, dude. So listen, I don't know, Christian, is that on your list or Vinny? Is that on
No,
your
no,
list?
it's not. I know my girlfriend's dad really loves all the Charlie Brown movies, and that's something that I like. I just know it. Like whenever I see Charlie Brown, I'm like, oh, I got him the book for his birthday. I think like the collection of just the comic strips, and but
It
I
it's
don't
so
remember
weird because
watching it.
like watching it as a kid, right? You're just like, oh, Charlie Brown, Christmas, whatever. But then if you watch it like when you're older, dude, it's got like all these themes about like anti-capitalism and like,
Oh yeah.
and this was like back in the 60s too, so it's very ahead of its time. But in true like good animated movie, right? It you watch as a kid, watch as an adult, you still get something out of it no matter what age you are, and super timeless. I mean, it's withstood the test of time. I don't know if it definitely won't be the oldest one we talk about, but it's definitely up there for sure.
The thing with Charlie Brown to me is that it doesn't matter if they make like a 3D Charlie Brown, a live action Charlie Brown. We're all just gonna watch the originals.
Yeah.
That's true. They don't got the heart that the originals got. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, so that's my 5. Vinny, lay your number 4 on us, dude.
My number 4 is also the Grinch, the
Nice,
original cartoon one. I love that movie. I
nice,
have
dude.
I have that exact DVD in my house right now that you were talking about. I love it.
I know it's so
Um,
funny. Like we can all picture like the exact DVD, but
mhm. I like the Jim Carrey movie too,
Yeah,
but not as much.
I think that Jim Carrey one, like, it's like I don't know. I like the cartoon Grinch. He's more like devious. They concentrate
Yeah,
really on him being like the worst person ever, and
yeah,
then like yeah, he gets his retribution. But like I just want to see him like steal things, and it's way cooler when he is not constrained by the physics of the real world.
yeah.
that's a good point. I was gonna ask. So you brought up the Benedict Cumberbatch one. Do you guys think that one even compares? Because I thought it was pretty good actually. I think I might like it. This might be blasphemy. You guys might kick me out of the podcast, but I was thinking it might be better than at least better than Jim Carrey one. It's definitely not better than the original animated one that you guys were talking about. Um, but yeah, I think it's the same reason, Christian, that you're talking about. Is you can do more stuff with animation. It's more like playful and less kind of creepy. Jim Carrey one always kind of freaked me out. I'll be honest with you.
I love
I
it. It's super fun. The Jim Carrey one. I didn't watch the Benedict Cumberbatch one, and not because I
Neither
had a
did I.
problem with it. I just didn't watch it. But I'll give it a try. Like I'll give it a chance. I like watching movies. You can tell me this is the worst movie ever made, and I'd be like, okay, let's put it on.
Let's put it up right. Yeah. So okay, I know we're talking about soundtracks a lot. It's an important part of Christmas movies, right? But
Yeah,
the Benedict Cumberbatch one, Tyler the Creator, like the rapper, poster right here. So he did the soundtrack to the Grinch, and it's like super weird. It's like hip hoppy, but it's still kind of it slaps. It kind of does slap.
I want to ask, as opposed to what other Tyler the Creator? Thank you for
Well,
clarifying the rapper.
just for those that don't know, I don't know. He's not like he's underground, but I don't know.
I mean, you have the shoes. You're like the real fan.
I know, right? I got the shoes. I haven't worn them because I don't want them to get dirty. But my number 4, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jingle All the Way. Dude, we're not gonna talk about Christmas movies and not talk about Jingle All the Way. Are you kidding me?
That's the one with Turbo Man, right?
Oh, dude, that's the one with Turbo Man.
They
I don't
sell
know.
them at like Walmart, right? Turbo Man.
I think they sell them now, yeah, because it's kind of like I don't know, like a cool collect. Hey, if I had a Turbo Man like on my shelf, that'd be kind of lit.
You should
Um,
get it, Cody.
but no, dude, that movie. I don't know why I like it so much. I guess it's got like a bunch of Arnold catchphrases, super quotable. And he's just trying to really give his kid the best Christmas ever. Um, plus, like the kid is into superheroes. I feel like maybe I maybe related to the kid or something when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
don't know, but
I like the fighting.
I'm so happy you said that because that's my number 2.
nice.
It might be my number 1, but I have it at number 2. I love it so much.
It's
Everyone I
underrated, dude. I
talk
feel
to,
like people don't
everyone I
talk
talk
about
to,
it.
they say they hate it, but
That's crazy.
It's a
it's so
fun
fun.
movie. Come on.
It's got like I mean, it is predictable or whatever, and like it follows the same Christmas tropes. But I think
It's a.
They all do.
they
I'm
all
not
do
watching
exactly,
I'm
right?
not watching a Christmas movie to be like, where are we?
Yeah,
Right. So I don't know. I think Jingle All the Way. That's just a fun time. Um,
it is.
I'm glad you have it at 2. I was thinking about doing it higher,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
was so
tough.
scared to say that it was so high on my list, and then you guys kick me out and never have me on again
Nah,
because
dude,
I've
let
never
that
met
freak
No.
other people who
flag
like it.
fly.
Listen. You could have the worst movie as number 1, and I would appreciate it.
Yeah,
I really don't judge people. Like I studied film, and my favorite movie is Fight Club. Like it's like they just made and they could hand me out like a thing that says I'm a film student. And my favorite movie is Fight Club. They probably sell those. Like I didn't pick a cool answer, so we don't judge people's movie likes.
Nice. That's a good sentiment, Christian. What's
Mhm.
your number? I think it's your turn. What's your number 4,
Yeah,
dude?
my number 4 is Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. If you've watched that
Mickey's.
one, it's the Mickey Mouse one where they like do just separate stories.
I haven't
It's
seen
just
that.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
it's fun. Look it up whenever you can. It's 2D animated. I watch it with my mom every year. I think it's the one that has the Christmas Carol in it.
That's what I
If
was
I'm
gonna
not,
ask.
yeah.
Maybe is that one like separate then, or is that part of all like the same?
Let me check. I think it's the same one. It could be. It came out in 1999, and I don't know. I watch it with my mom every year. It's just like I would show you the cover right now. I also like the one with Tiny Tim, just
Hmm.
because I really love Tiny Tim cutting a single pea, like just a sing.
That is depressing. Just
Whenever I think
like
of like whenever like we're like I'm eating like ramen, and my mom's like, "Man, you work. Why'd you choose that one? You can clearly." I just think of Tiny Tim cutting that single pea. I'm like, ah.
that visual of just slicing a pea in half is that's just depressing. You really feel for Tiny Tim there.
That's I don't know. I don't know if it's the same one, but I'll group them together. Let's do that.
All
I
right, you're
do.
pulling a Santa Claus.
I know for sure we watched Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas for sure.
Hmm.
I don't know if Christmas Carol is involved in that same one. Let's just put it in there. Why not?
Yeah, dude.
We
Hey,
got
it's your
nothing to
podcast.
lose.
You can do what you want.
It's our podcast, Cody.
Vinny, I think it's your number 3.
Yeah, my number 3 is Gremlins.
I forgot about Gremlins, dude. I don't know if it might have been my honorable mention.
Oh, that's your number 2?
It's my number 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Man, yeah, I love Gremlins. It's another movie that I just have to watch every year, and my girlfriend hasn't seen it, so after this we're gonna watch it.
Nice.
And I haven't. I honestly I could watch it not only just for Christmas, but just any day of the
It's
week.
just a good
I
movie.
think it
That's
is.
what I was gonna say because I feel like I don't know why, but I just don't associate like it is a Christmas movie like objectively, right? It's not like a Die Hard thing where you could say
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
No,
but I just don't
Gizmo's a
associate it
Christmas
with the
gift.
Yeah.
right. So it's like I mean that is a Christmas. I just didn't even think about Gremlins, but that's a
Yeah.
good watch. Christian, what
And
do you
I'll-
like about Gremlins, dude?
Well, I was gonna wait till I got to my number 2 so he could say all his thoughts instead of interrupting him.
That's a good point.
But I could
I mean,
say
you
it.
could go now. It's
That's a
okay.
good point.
Okay, I'll do it now. I'll say this.
Lay it on us. Lay it on us.
It's a fun movie. It's kind of scary. Like when they put that gremlin in the blender. Terrifyingly fun. I will say I have my issues with Gremlins, and it's just like the Santa Claus.
Mhm.
Who decides the time zones for when they can eat or not?
That's a good point. The rules of the universe. Yeah,
Like, it's past midnight. If you take him to California, does it still apply? You know,
I never thought about that.
it's just, I think that's my problem. I think too much, and then it ruins movie. It's still my number two, so it must not
Mhm.
bother me that much. But I always think like, what time zone are they at? What
Nice,
about
dude.
daylight savings?
That's true. Do gremlins adjust for
Also,
daylight saving? That's a good question.
how long after midnight can you feed them? Like once the sun comes out, it's like, oh, feeding. Like, what does after midnight mean?
Right, because anytime's after midnight, technically.
Exactly. 11
Wow.
is after midnight.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's scaring me. Let's talk
Okay,
about
so
instead your. Oh wait, actually, I think it's my number three. All right,
yeah,
number three, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I think that's a
Dude.
classic.
Oh man.
So my family watches that quite often, right? It sounds like it's pretty similar to Vinny. Like you got to put it on around the Christmas time. And my girlfriend hadn't really watched it, maybe once or twice, like back in the day. So we watched it this past weekend, and she fell in love with it, dude. She was like cackling, laughing every time he stepped on like a plank and it hit him in the head and stuff. She was dying. So I don't know. Christmas Vacation. A lot of slapstick, funny gags. Chevy Chase, even though he's an asshole in real life, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
All these stories you hear about him, but
you say
I
fuck
mean
that
that guy
guy.
is funny. What are you gonna say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is a funny movie. I will say that. It's one of like my. I know my parents both really like it, and it's just like whether like he's not the best guy, but that movie is just well written.
Yeah.
Like
It
the
is.
poster, like the him getting electrocuted. I
It's
cannot stop
iconic.
thinking about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
if
I like it too because I feel like it really especially now that I'm older and it's my girlfriend, but we've been dating for 8 years or whatever, so I know her extended family, and it's pretty spot on. I feel like every family's got like, the cousin Eddie who's just like this insane dude, and we got a couple of those and her
and,
family, so I don't know, it
and
just
most of the time it's both families. Like it's not like, oh, my family's crazy. No, like both. It's both. It's everyone.
it's true. Family, it really captures like that, I guess, family dynamic, and I don't know, everybody's a wacko, but I love that movie. Super funny. Had to give it my number three. I
Okay, yeah.
think
It's a good
I
choice.
I think it's now Vinny's number two,
No,
three.
it's
Oh,
my number three.
Christian's. I'm
My
sorry, dude.
number three, and I think this is a controversial one. But my
Okay.
number three is Home Alone.
Okay.
Because a lot of people would put Home Alone in number one. I want to say, and he might correct me, that Home Alone is my dad's favorite movie, like in general, not just Christmas.
Wow.
I know he watched it a lot. Like it was like the only movie he like had for like a while when he started like went to live alone.
Like Vinny's
And
Batman.
yeah, exactly. And it's just one of those things. It's such a good movie. Home Alone is such a fun time. And the sequel too. I don't think the sequel is as good as the first one, but the sequel is still like a 10 out of 10. Actually, I'll put it 9.8 because of someone's appearance in that movie.
Oh, good point, dude. They took him out of like when you watch it on TV, that part just like doesn't happen on some channels.
Really?
Yeah, it's, it's
Thank
pretty
God for
interesting.
editing.
Yeah, I know,
They
right?
fixed it in post.
Now it's a 10.
That's a 10.
I thought about putting Home Alone on my list too. I wanted to, but I couldn't find a spot for it. I guess it would be honorable mention. Um, that might be one that, I mean, it's hilarious. It's objectively hilarious seeing them like catch on fire and like get hit in the head with
Yeah.
full cans of paint and stuff like that. Okay, Christian, I will tell you, right? I already have my top five. my number 0, like the number better than number 1, would be Home Alone 2, specifically the part where Macaulay Culkin or whatever is throwing bricks off the roof, and it hits Marv in the head. I don't know, like 6 times the brick with a brick, dude, from like 5 stories up. That, no matter how old I am, I'm gonna be laughing at that until the day I die.
Listen,
That
the
was
wet bandits, the sticky bandits, call them whatever, they're immortal.
They are.
They cannot die.
yeah. I mean, if I got 6 bricks to the head from like 60 feet up or whatever,
You can hit me with a brick at this distance, and I would probably pass.
I try not to. I just can't stop thinking about it now. So I think someone's gonna have to change the subject.
Okay, Vinny, go to number 2.
My number 2 is Jingle All the Way.
Nice. Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, I love it. It's just such a feel good movie. Like Arnold is just trying to be the best dad he can. Even like in the beginning of the movie, he's the worst. He's never there for his kid, and then he gets in the Christmas spirit, and all his kid wants is this Turbo Man action figure, and he goes through absolute hell to try to get it. And then at the end, he becomes Turbo Man. Like,
oh, spoilers!
Oh, sorry,
1990.
I know.
No, dude, you're right.
It's
that scene when he's in the Turbo Man costume during the parade, it's so stupid, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, dude, it's because I mean, that happens every year, right? Like whatever the toy of the year is that all the kids are going nuts for. So you really, I think for me, like it was that year when the Wii was like super hard to get. So that was my Turbo Man. So I really feel for not the kid's name, but
my dad actually dressed up as a PS5 last year just for us.
Yes, it's funny because I was about to say my parents dressed up like Wii's. They didn't get me a Wii, but
no, well, maybe the Wii you needed was the friendships you made all along.
I know, that's true.
I think the kid in that movie plays Anakin Skywalker.
He does in the prequel.
Yeah,
episode 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess we already know you. We already know you. I guess we'll go to your number 2, Corey.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Number 2. Got to give a shout out to the classics, right? You guys talking about too many new movies. Well, Grinch was old, but you got to be talking about It's a Wonderful Life, dude. No one's mentioned that yet. It's a Wonderful. Is that on anyone else's list, or am I crazy?
It's not on mine. I went for a super obscure one for number 1.
I was gonna put it on my list, but I didn't.
No, I feel it. So like, the reason why I love It's a Wonderful Life, I didn't. When you're a kid, dude, that movie is boring as shit. That movie is nothing fun about it, right? But it's
not
definitely
wonderful.
It's not.
Right, but I think watching it like more recently, maybe like the last 2 years, I've really come to love it. I think one of the reasons why I love it too is because it really feels. People might think I'm stupid when I say this because it's around the same time, but it really feels like an episode of Twilight Zone, which is like a show back in the day, black and white anthology horror science fiction type of thing. So It's a Wonderful Life kind of fits in that with me, and my family really loves Twilight Zone, and these last couple of years we've been putting on It's a Wonderful Life, watching it. When I go home for the holidays, I watch it like maybe 2 times or something. Definitely get more out of it as an adult, like the message they're trying to get across. But I kind of like how it's like the Elseworld, for lack of a better word type of thing, sci-fi movie sort of. So yeah, dude, It's a Wonderful Life, great message. I started to cry recently when I watch it. That's how you know it's good, right?
Might make your video black and white for like 30 seconds just so you feel.
Okay. Yeah, dude, that's my number 2. Gotta give it to It's a Wonderful Life.
We already talked about my number 2, Gremlins. And so we'll go to Vinny's number 1. What is it, Vinny?
My number 1 is Home Alone.
Nice.
I was gonna mention it when you were talking about it, but I love it. I just rewatched it. It's like a kid's dream. you know, in like a real messed up way, just not wanting your family around.
Oh, I thought you meant
But
hitting the wet bandits.
well, yeah,
Hit someone with a brick, every kid's dream, you know.
they go through so much in that movie. It's amazing that they survived to the sequel.
It's true. It's very
Like they're stepping on glass. They're
There's
getting set
nothing
on
like him
fire.
stepping on the nail on the staircase.
Oh, it's
that was just
terrible.
mean, dude. I mean,
It
listen,
is.
I know these guys are coming to rob your family's house, but like, this kid's demented, man. This kid's got problems. He's psychotic. He's killing these guys.
I think the fact that he made all those traps and then cleaned it all up. Like, does his family know what he did?
That's a really good question, dude. I never even thought about that because they come home and then
They found a gold tooth.
Yeah, yeah. The house was spotless.
right. Yes, that's right.
It's so
What the
fun,
heck?
man. And it gives there's
I also
one
love
thing
the sequel.
every Christmas. That's the thing. Like they created to me one of the most quotable lines in all cinema, and it's "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal,"
Yeah.
and a Happy
Classic.
New Year. It's just that will never leave my brain. Yeah, it's a good pick, man. I respect it as a number one.
That's a good number one for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cody, do you want to go last since you created this whole plan?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll go for my number one is Klaus, the Netflix movie. God, it's such a good movie. I've watched it once, and only once. That's all it took to be my number one. Me and my girlfriend were just like, hey, you know, a new Christmas movie. It's animated. What a fantastic movie. I recommend that movie. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just such a fun take on like Santa Claus.
Dang, I didn't know it was like that good. Like that good.
I loved
I'll have to
it.
check
I
it out.
honestly, I might be like the only person on earth who feels this way, but I will watch it every year now.
Dang, dude.
It's-
We'll have to cue that up.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's really good, and it's really like well animated, and I think the story is good. And I don't know, it's just a fun time. I want to watch it right now. I might just hang up.
Nah, dude, that's a great pick. It's cool too when because a lot of the ones we're talking about are released in a certain time period, right? Like a lot of modern ones, I don't know, man. They kind of really hit or miss with modern Christmas movies. But that's cool that Klaus had
Yeah.
it up at top of your list, man.
I definitely recommend that, and I recommend a movie is really good, Spirited, the new Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell movie. That
Oh,
one's
that's a great cast.
really-
Oh,
I
I
that
haven't
one's
seen that.
It's really fun. Like I finished that movie and I was like, that was a good time. Normally, like my problem with Christmas movies is sometimes like, yeah, you don't have to. I don't need to think during a Christmas movie, but also I don't need to watch the same thing 30 times. You know, like it's our problem with that we had with a Christmas Carol, like the Batman Noel. That's like,
Right.
oh, it's the same
Oh,
story.
yeah.
No, Spirited is amazing, and I recommend you all watch it. It's a musical too, which is kind of interesting. But yeah,
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Cody, what's your number one?
All right, number one, got to give it to. I already mentioned it. I think actually, A Christmas Story. That's got to be my number one. They actually just did a sequel. I don't know. Have you guys seen the sequel to A Christmas Story?
No.
It's pretty good actually.
Okay.
So it's got the same Ralphie dude. And he's got his family. Is bringing him back home to whatever bum. I don't want to say that bum fuck. I guess I'll say it. Town, and he has to kind of show them like how to have a good Christmas. But the original, I mean, is
Meaning
just
of
so.
Christmas.
Yeah.
To me, when I think of Christmas movies, right, A Christmas Story is the one that pops up. It's just got everything you're looking for.
Yeah.
Really feel so. Like I mentioned earlier, my parents didn't get me a Wii. They actually did get me a Wii. I lied to you guys, and they did the whole because Christmas Story is like such a big part of our family. They did the thing where like they hid a big box with the Wii in it in a closet, And I was disappointed that Christmas. I'm like, oh man, I didn't get a Wii. But then Dad goes, "What's in that closet over there?" Boom, there's a Wii. Dude, I was losing my mind. I felt like Ralphie.
I remember for my birthday, and I don't want to guess which birthday it was, but it was when the Nintendo DS came out. Not the DSi, like the DS, like the chunky one. My parents for my birthday woke me up and gave me a shoe box, and I was like, oh, because my dad used to work at Payless, Payless, and I was like, oh great, shoes, fun, and then I opened it. I was like a fucking DS,
Parents
and
are
I
weird that way, man.
I appreciated it so much. Like looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, that was fun. That when I have kids, I'm just gonna be like, well, no gifts this year.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
So wait,
but
wait. Oh wait,
we all said them
Christian.
all.
Okay, that's right. Nice,
I
dude.
think
That
we
was a
have-
nice list.
We have something to talk about, right? I think we all read something recently. That's in the
know.
title of this video audio podcast. That's very long, this episode.
Well, it's
In-
Christmas. You get an
in
extra like
fact,
30.
You just said the title of it.
I did
we
say the
all
title
read-
of it.
So we just read Klaus in preparation for this episode. Written by Grant Morrison, art by Dan Mora, or at least pencils by Dan Mora, I think, right? Is this everybody's first time reading Klaus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. No, that's great. This will be a good conversation then. Before we even have it, I'll just declare it as a good conversation. I'll throw it to Vinny off the start. Vinny, what'd you think of Klaus? Just overall.
Man, so I've heard like everyone recommends this book to me, especially around Christmas time. And I always say to myself, I'm going to get it. I'm going to read it. And then I finally read it. And I wish I read it sooner because I loved it. I thought it was spectacular.
Yes.
Um,
It's a book I want to own
I also
physically.
thought,
Yep.
yeah, I read it digitally. But everything about it, I loved it. The artwork especially was great.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Dan Mora. I mean, this guy. Where'd they
I-
find this guy, huh?
I
This guy
think
can draw, bro.
You can.
you're gonna have to let me do this, and I'm sorry for anyone who's gonna feel offended by me saying this, but it's my time to shit on Batman Noel. But first of all, Batman Noel is fun. It's a good book. But this is how you like tell me a story about something I know in an inventive way. I think that's what they did. They grabbed a character who we all know, we're wearing the hat right now. We know who he is. But Grant Morrison, they were like, hey, why don't we tell the origin? And they did it in a fun way. And the action is out of this fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
I'll put it up on the screen. The first time he gets like the toys, spoilers, Santa Claus gets toys. It was so trippy. And visually it was like mesmerizing. I don't know what
Yeah.
else to say.
Oh, so I think, Vinny, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I don't want to derail this conversation, but you guys did an episode on Batman Noel, and I haven't read Batman Noel because a long time ago I ordered it on Amazon, and I was so excited to read it, and they sent me a copy in German.
Yes.
And I was looking at the art, and I was like, wow, this looks great. And I started to read it, and I was like, I don't know German.
It's not an
but
easy
I've
language.
Never read it. It's not, no.
So let me ask you this, Vinny. Did you end up sending it back, or you still have the German copy?
I did. I sent it back.
Okay.
They had no copies in English.
Funny enough,
So-
I took 6 years of German. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, I never tell anyone because then people speak German to me and I'm like, huh?
I don't remember anything. I mean, that's me with Spanish, but yeah.
but, listen,
Vinny, I'm sorry. I've been talking shit about this book. It's fun. It's really
Yeah.
fun. Like the art is like incredible. And I know
think-
we talked about the art, but it's a fun book. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
I think we gave it a 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
not that we
still
rate
solid.
everything, yeah, but it's a solid read, yeah. But no, so Klaus is. I mean, it blew my mind. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
going into it, right? Like Vinny, everyone's saying, you got to read Klaus. It's perfect for the Christmas time, and this is it's pretty, it's like relatively new, but it's in the last couple of years. And I guess Morrison and Mora, they team up. I don't know if it's every year or every other year. Does anyone know? But they put out like a new volume, so they don't do like single issues anymore, but they just do Klaus in this story. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so like I have a hardcover back there. It's like the second volume, but I would love to get the first volume collected. I think it was a great read. I'm super glad we read it, and say it again, but I mean Mora's artwork
Hey,
just destroys,
Mhm.
dude.
No fear, no shame. I'll put it out there. I would read this in April.
yeah.
It's a good.
I'd read this any day of the week.
Dude, it's so weird, right? Because it's what your Christian was talking about, where it's not so reliant on the source material. Like if you obviously it's Santa Claus's origin story, but like they don't hit you over the head with it. You know what I mean? It's like
No.
it's this dude. His name is Klaus, right? So okay, he makes toys, right? And he wears red and white. You know what I mean? But it's like they drop like little hints and they build up the tale of Santa Claus. And this guy's like a superhero. That's like the
Yeah.
coolest like depiction of Santa Claus I've ever seen.
Yeah, like where'd he
Yeah.
get the belly, man? Like he was
Right,
ripped
what
in
is
this
that?
one.
When does that come in? Yeah, dude, because he's
Yeah, like you
just
think of
hulked out.
Santa, you think of the big white beard and the big belly, and the
Yeah,
reindeer.
the big white beard, the big white man. Those are the two things I think
Yeah.
about. And
But nah, dude, this guy, I mean, he is ripped. He will come into your town. He'll save you, and just, I mean, it's a little gory too. Like it's decently gory.
yeah,
I didn't know how
yeah.
far they were gonna push it, but it's decently gory. Christian said it. The action is really great. I guess before we get too deep into it, just like a quick overview of the story. I'm gonna make Christian do it. Christian, why don't you quickly tell us, dude?
Well,
Just
I was
like in
drinking
two
eggnog.
sentences.
Thank you.
In two
Oh,
sentences,
yeah, we're all-
what happens in Klaus?
Uh,
Or like the
evil,
setup.
evil tyrant hates Yule time. Bearded man saves Christmas.
Nailed it, dude.
That's
Two
good.
sentences.
Absolutely nailed it. So one thing I did want to say, like near the top of when we're talking about Klaus, was I thought it was super cool how like the way Morrison writes, right? I haven't read too many of their work, and just seeing, I don't know, like they string you along, and you get like little teases about the grander like mystery about what's going on. For example, right, when he meets Dagmar, is that her name?
It's a name.
Yeah.
Anyways, but you find out that they have this history, and that Klaus actually lived in this town, and he was like a pretty well respected captain of the guard or whatever. But no, I think it's so cool. Like every issue, like you're learning something new about this world that's being built up, and the supernatural elements were really cool. Like Christian said, the really trippy, super colorful bits whenever he's I guess like going into a toy making trance or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the only way I
love
can
that
describe
scene.
it, it's like he did acid and woke up the next day and like, whoa, I made some toys.
Yeah, it's so when that happened, he like whips out a flute or something,
Right.
and then he.
Yeah, it's
so
that
bizarre.
one part where he does ayahuasca with his wolf. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the forest, yeah. Nah, dude, I thought Klaus was great. I think it's definitely, like you guys are saying, you can read this any time of the year. I don't see anything
yeah.
wrong with
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
give it to me in March. You know, it's just a fun book. And this is like the last thing I'll say. And I'll put it up in the screen. And spoilers, I'm sorry, we should say all of these have spoilers. All of the reviews have spoilers. If you don't know this by now, get out and watch the other ones. The part where he like decapitates that demon, the art is out of this world. Just that shot of him like, just cutting that demon's neck. I was like, yep, this is it. This is one of my favorites now. I gotta keep it. I might put it up on my wall. It's a fun book, man, and I don't know which one of you picked it, but you're my new best friend.
I think it was me. So I'll take that.
It
There
was
you go.
definitely Cody.
No, so I guess I don't know. What do you guys think of, we're talking about, the depiction of like this Santa Claus or whatever, but would you guys agree that it's like maybe one of your favorite I don't know. Vinny's a big fan of Tim Allen's Santa Claus. Do you think this
I know,
guy
right? Two very different depictions of Santa Claus. I mean, this one's definitely cooler, but
I will
I don't know.
say,
If they made a trilogy about him, then I'll let you guys know.
He's not Tim Allen. I feel you. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
I will say, favorite Christmas movie, Klaus. Favorite Christmas comic book, Klaus.
Klaus.
Totally
I
different
know it.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
Same name.
So, the thing I like about this Klaus, right, is when you first meet him, you're kind of just like, oh, what's going on? He's going to this town, and then one of the first things he does is like try to stand up and try to save this child getting beat up by a guard or whatever, and he steps in and he's like, don't do that or whatever. That's how Klaus is just such a solid dude. You know what I mean? And we got to mention it. His wolf, his pet wolf. What was
Yeah.
the name?
Lily?
Lily?
Dude, so sick. Wolves are just so sick.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
that
is
wolf
this is such a
especially.
boy conversation. Guys, you see the arrows there?
That was sick, dude. I'm trying to think. So, Christian, I have here in my notes splash page on 26. So whatever that is, put it right here.
It's right here.
Right here. Okay.
Listen,
Nice.
I will say this. I think Klaus, the comic book, not the movie that we already talked about, that's my favorite. Klaus, the comic book, deserves a movie. 2D animated, don't give me no live action. I don't want to see The Rock as Klaus. You know?
Right.
It's just,
right.
it would work so well, and the kids and adults could watch it.
You-
Isn't
you
that the
know
coolest thing?
No, I agree with you, dude, and I agree it needs to be animated. I think those adaptations of comics, like if it's animated, it tends to work out a lot better. Same thing for video games too. That's a whole other conversation. But you're right though. The Rock would try to be Klaus, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like
Here's
in
what I'll
2 years
say.
when there's a Klaus movie, it's gonna be The Rock, bro. Unfortunately.
Here's what I'll say. Listen, I have a dad, and he put up with a lot of my movies. Like he watched a lot of movies with me, and I think he would have had way much more fun if they were like Klaus.
I got you. Yeah, dude, for sure. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about. So I don't know. Is anyone like super familiar with Dan Mora's art, like
No.
his history of art? You know
No.
what I mean? Because like I've read this, and then I've been keeping up with the ongoing Batman Superman World's Finest, which is, in my opinion, one of the best like books on shelves from DC, and a lot of it has to do with Dan Mora's artwork. I think Wade's right in that one too. So the writing's really good, but dude, Dan Mora is just I just love the way big beefy dudes like Dan Mora just draws them so well, dude.
Yeah, this is definitely a boys' conversation.
Talking about big
Yeah.
beefy dudes, nah. I mean,
No, you'll never hear like girls in it because my girlfriend will tell me like you'll never hear girls like talking about like that guy's muscles. You see the veins popping off his arm? No, that's just a boy kind of thing.
that's true. That's a good point. But no, so I guess the point I was trying to get across was like I think Dan Mora is quickly climbing up there for me as being like one of my favorite artists. It's super cool seeing. I got to explore more of his work, but man, even with just this and Batman Superman World's Finest, there might be. I think there's another series that he worked on that I really enjoyed too. I can't remember it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many times I can say it, but Dan Mora he's that guy for me right now. He's just killing it.
Well, I guess before we end it, we should ask, Vinny, what would you rate it out of 10?
Oh man. Honestly, I'd give it a 10. I don't really have anything wrong with it. There was no
Cody?
point in the story where I couldn't follow. I loved it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I was gonna say too. Like, yeah, if you're trying to find a flaw, We had a lot of flaws for Batman Noel. As much as we, enjoyed the story or whatever, but there's not really that many flaws. Even if
Okay, this
it's
is
not
not a
even that
flaw.
predictable either. Maybe I'm
This is
just
not a
stupid,
flaw.
but
We're supposed. I will say this: the only thing that I did not enjoy. We're supposed to like this kid who was like the biggest asshole in the world. No, I hated him till the end. When they were about to
Yeah.
eat him, I was like, "Do it!"
yeah, I feel you. I mean, there was a point in the story where he was kind of I don't know, like how evil could a kid truly be? You know what I mean? I think it was like just the point they were trying to get across was, he's been in the tower alone, and like that's why he just doesn't know how to like interact with kids. He was growing on me, I guess I'll say. So at that point, I wasn't saying eat him. I was like, eat him or not. You know what I mean? I'd be fine with it either way. Just he was growing on me. That's all I'll say.
And nah, I hated him till the end.
All right,
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
okay. But yeah, I'll give it a 9.
a 9. Yeah.
That's a solid.
I'll
There's
go
not a
right down
lot.
the middle. I'll give it a 9.5.
Now I'm gonna have to do the math. Cody, you see what you're doing to me?
You were trying to do the average.
Yeah, of course, man.
I mean,
Yeah, we
that
got
would be like
9.5. I don't know why I had to do the math.
I didn't know. Are we giving it like an official color break rating?
I'll say this: I know there's a thing I do on my TikTok, but it gets a stash seal of approval.
Dude, for sure. It definitely gets the crossover comic seal of approval. Free to read on Hoopla. Everything we read is on Hoopla. Get your library card, read it on Hoopla. They have all the Klaus stories too. Like after this, we can just jump in and keep reading it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I might just do that. I might buy the
Gladly.
physical book, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
for sure.
I will say, if anyone's looking
For a good Christmas book, Klaus. If you're looking for a cool action book, Klaus. If you're looking for a book where like the kid you hate might get eaten by a demon,
Klaus,
Yeah, dude. Big beefy dudes. Klaus. I mean, that's all we need to say. That's the mic drop right
Cools.
there.
yeah. If you're a guy, listen to me. I'm gonna say it right now: swords, demons, wolves, beefy dudes, and bow and arrow.
But it still has the
Christmas.
Christmas message, right? It still gets the
Yeah.
Christmas. It still got
Yeah.
all the pieces to a good Christmas story, even if you don't read it, during the Christmas season. So, yeah, really impressed overall.
I will say it's probably one of my favorite books that we've read for this podcast, if not my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, Christian. Is that all we got for Klaus? Any final words on Klaus, Vinny, Christian?
I'm good, but Vinny, what would you say? What's your plan now that you've read it digitally?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll keep reading the next stories digitally, but if they release like an omnibus or some collection with all of them in it, I definitely buy it.
For sure.
I think it'd be a perfect purchase. I was looking for it. I didn't look that much, but yeah, no, that's one book that I was like, I need to own this. Honestly,
it's just-
Christian, vamp for me, dude. I gotta grab something off my shelf.
Okay. Oh, I know you have the
Just
hardcover
kill
from Volume
time.
2,
Kill
right?
time.
Okay, so today it was Ugly Christmas Sweater Day at work, and I wore not this ugly sweater, but another one. I'm just like, I have a lot of
So
them.
this is Klaus. I think this is the New Adventures of Santa Claus. So this is the second volume, right?
Oh, that's
Dude, look
nice.
at the gold pages. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow.
When I
Cody.
found this in this, I mean, obviously it's just like the border, but it's like this glittery gold, and it just makes it feel super nice when you're reading it.
We
Really
have
nice,
talked
thick
about
pages.
we have talked about you not influencing me to spend more money than I have to.
Sorry, dude.
I have to buy my family gifts, dude.
Now I won't.
Nah, dude, but look at I'm doing a 12 days of omnibuses, dude. Just buy yourself omnibuses. Give all your friends, send them all like the junk you don't want, and then you buy yourself the stuff you do want.
I want
All the junk I have here.
Nah,
That's my
that's
problem.
true. I did send out some stuff I actually really liked, but it's for Christmas. I'm trying to beat Klaus and spread that Christmas cheer.
Everyone's
right,
gonna be
dude.
watching this and be like, junk.
I know it's not junk. I just said it, guys. Come on. All right. I think that'll do it for us. But before we go, Vinny, gotta hand it off to you, dude. Any cool projects in the work? Anything you want to shout out? All your links will be down in the description, both for your podcast and for your TikTok page. But give you the platform here, dude. Anything you got?
Yeah, thank you. Just working on my own podcast on YouTube and Spotify. It's called Off the Shelf. On the YouTube channel we do a couple other podcasts now. We do Off the Shelf, where each week I take a book off my shelf and I discuss it with my two co-hosts, sometimes two co-hosts. And we have this other podcast called A One Shot, where we create comic book characters on the spot. And I just started doing a new podcast called The Pull List, where I discuss the new comics that come out each week. And that's about it. And TikTok,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right on.
Listen, we have right here, we release every 2 weeks. If you need time to kill in between episode and episode, this guy just gave you 3 podcasts. That's all I gotta say.
That's true. I mean, they're killing it over there. They're pretty. They put out a lot of content. Yeah. Oh, it's a great listen. I like to listen to it while I work out. So
yeah. I don't work out, but I like to listen to it while Cody works out.
Yeah, I think that'll do it for us. This has been, Color Break, a Christmas special, issue number 10. The big, we're in double digits now. That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
made it.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for us. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whichever holiday you celebrate. Thanks for listening to us jibber jabber. Our drinks have alcohol in them, by the way. Not Vinny's. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, not Vinny.
Not Vinny's. All right. But yeah, that'll do it for us. Thank you guys for listening to Color Break, issue number 10. End it right there. Hey, Christian, please.